What's up, family? This is your boy, Brother Smith. You can find more videos like this one at my page, facebook.com/BrotherSmithMusic, along with a bunch of other people who are getting together. We're going to be posting a link of positive Juggalo communities in the notes section. I'm going to start updating that daily. This is our second series in the videos, Juggalos and the Myth of Gangs. This video will discuss facts related to the claim that the FBI that there are hybrid gangs in the Juggalo community and how that affects us Juggalos. Also, what we can and must do to address the ramifications of these claims. First, there are a couple facts. The first fact is the FBI report does not say that all Juggalos are gang members. It says that there are many Juggalos that have formed hybrid gangs. The second fact is that many individual states do say Juggalos are gangs, or a threat, or act in gang-like patterns. And what this means simply is that cops have the legal right and obligation to treat all of us who identify ourselves as Juggalos as possible gang members. But why should you care? Simply put, there are rules called gang injunctions out there. Every state, city, and county has their own, and you should look them up. What they say basically is that a gang cannot gather more than 3 to 5 people in any public space. To do so is to pursue criminal activity. So if Juggalos are illegal in your city, you are, by definition, when gathering with more than 3 to 5 people, technically committing a crime. The police can stop, search, seize, and investigate you without warrants. They can also create laws that say it's a misdemeanor to gather together. It's a rights restriction action, so watch for it. Also, this means that search and seizure can be done on your person, your place, or your automobile if it is tagged with a symbol that is recognized as a gang symbol. So if a Juggalo is considered a gang in your city, the Hatchet Man, the associated merch, and the clown paint means that a cop can pull you over and stop you with no reason other than you're a possible gang member. They can then search and seize anything in your car that they believe may be related to gang functions. They do not need a warrant or any other reason to do this. Also, gang members who commit crimes receive increased penalties because their crimes are considered gang-related crimes. An example is that if you were to commit an assault and battery, I'm not saying you would, but if you did, and it typically carried a 1-year sentence, you would get 4 years in prison because the penalty on that is a 3-year increase. So in your state, city, or municipality, if you were to commit a crime and you happen to be a Juggalo, you get punished on top of the crime because you're a gang member. Also, imagine how hard it is to get a job if you're a registered gang member. Education, school for both yourself, your children. We're talking about literally every facet of your life being affected, restricted, or limited because you're perceived to be part of a criminal enterprise. And that just boils down to harassment. All of these things are a way for the system, both the police systems, local law enforcement, schools, jobs, to harass you and keep you down. But this is all based off of the simple fact that Juggalos are recognized as gangs, and we all know why. If you're unfamiliar with the reason why we're recognized as gangs, refer to the first video in this series, Juggalos, Are They Gangs? And you'll see a good explanation of why they are and how we can avoid it. It would seem clear that the very thing we love most, kicking it with our family and meeting new ones, would become a thing of the past. Do you have Juggalo roommates? You now live in a gang house. Do you like having barbecues with your family? Welcome to your gang gathering. Is this becoming clear? But what we can do is empower ourselves. You need to understand the gang rules, laws, and regulations in your city, and if a Juggalo is considered a gang member in your city, immediately create a Facebook page that displays and keeps track of the positive things you do. The food drives, the abusive women shelters, anything that your community gets involved in as Juggalos, you need to now start posting that and sharing it. We need to educate each other. We need to share with each other the information about where, when, and how Juggalos are being considered a gang and what we can do in those areas to affect positive change by reaching out to the media and to other local places that have the ability to spread our word so they can see that we're not just a bunch of hoodlums. We also need to gather data. Anytime you come across a PDF, a news report, or any other documentation that you believe is part of the problem that identifies us in a negative light, immediately post it to the pages that you're involved in. The Facebook pages or the website pages so other people can see it, we can discuss it and what to do. And that boils down to basically sharing our information with others. We have to share both the negative reports that are given to us, to each other, so we can understand how they see us, but we also have to share the positive information, the things that we do positively with each other and with the media. It's the most important thing you can do. Right now, we're being judged simply because there's nobody out there speaking on our behalf. They could say that anybody was a gang, and as long as nobody said no, they're not, the general population is going to believe the powers that be because they're there to protect, right? And that's what everyone believes. In this case, we can prove that wrong simply by being a force for ourselves. We have to be our own advocates. I want to take a moment, if you don't mind, and I have attached to this slideshow a simple personal note for me. If you want to reach out to me or have any responses to this video, you can always go to facebook.com/BrotherSmithMusic. There will be the third series is what was going to be the second. The third series will be facts and figures, actually comparing crime rates of the general population against perceived crime rates in the Juggalo community, and explaining why these two crime rates, when compared to each other, clearly show that being a member of our Juggalo family does not make you a gang, and the Juggalos by definition are not a gang. Again, post and reshare this video slideshow if you like it. Much love, and on to my personal note. Whoop whoop. What's up, everybody? It's Brother Smith. I want to make a personal note about the video that you just watched, the slideshow, and it's something that we got to remember. It's real important. A lot of people are talking that, hey, we're a gang, whatever, fuck you FBI, fuck you world, and that's cool, man. Keep your anger and your enthusiasm for being a Juggalo alive. We've got to not lose that, okay? That can't go away, but we got to remember, it's not cool to be a gang member. There are some people actually out there saying it's not illegal to be in a gang. Yes, it is. It's the whole point of this problem. If you allow them to label us as gang members, our rights will be taken away from us. We will not be allowed to gather together in groups of more than 3 to 5 people. We will not be allowed to wear merchandise. We will not be allowed to run fundraisers. The actual positive shit that we do right now isn't allowed if you're considered a gang, because once we gather together to do that positive shit, it's a gang function and can be raided by the police. You've got to get that. We've got to make that clear. No matter what your personal opinions about the FBI, law enforcement, or any other group may be, about the judgment they will receive, all of that needs to be pushed to the side, and we need to focus on one thing. If you are positive, do positive things, and don't let the negative stereotypes stop you, but do not embrace them. I know we want to sound cool, but you cannot embrace that. You have to embrace the positive. Also, a shout out to everyone else out there who raps or who is a leader in your community. You need to speak up. Me, Brother Smith, all you other MCs out there, from the very top, ICP, all the way to the very lowest, like myself, everyone in between. If you have the power to speak to people, you need to start using it to speak to people, to speak to the family and point them in the right direction. Keep that in mind. If you got a voice, use it. One love. Whoop whoop.